You just bought a container that is 8 feet wide. By the time you insulate it from the inside, you are living in a container that feels 6 feet 8 inches wide. You did not lose that space to your floor plan. You lost it to your insulation method. And the fix is one decision made before the first panel goes up. Insulate the outside, not the inside. Here is exactly why exterior insulation gives you back every inch of interior space your container was built to hold. The decisions that save you space before construction starts. That is Beyond Real Homes, every single week. Subscribe now. Hit the notification bell. This is the kind of video you send to someone before they make this mistake. A standard 20-foot shipping container has an interior width of 7 feet 8 inches, an interior length of 19 feet 4 inches, a total interior floor area of approximately 149 square feet. Now add the most common interior insulation method. Closed-cell spray foam applied directly to the steel walls, followed by a 2x4-inch timber stud wall on the interior face to carry the plasterboard lining. The spray foam adds 2 to 3 inches per wall. The stud wall adds 3.5 inches per wall. The plasterboard adds 0.5 inches per wall. Total insulation depth per wall, 6 to 7 inches per side. Multiply that by 2 walls, and you lose 12 to 14 inches of interior width. Your 7-foot 8-inch container is now 6 feet 6 inches to 6 feet 8 inches wide on the interior. Applied to the length as well, on both end walls, you lose another 12 to 14 inches of interior length. Total floor area lost to interior insulation on a standard 20-foot container, 18 to 24 square feet. On a 149 square foot container, that is 12 to 16% of your total floor area consumed by the insulation system before a single piece of furniture is placed. On a 40-foot container, the floor area loss is proportionally similar, 30 to 40 square feet of a 298 square foot interior. This is not a minor detail. It is a structural reduction in the livable space you purchased the container to produce, and it is entirely avoidable. Interior insulation is the default choice for most container home builders for 3 reasons. It is faster. The spray foam contractor can work inside the container without needing scaffold or cladding design. The stud wall is familiar to any carpenter. The plasterboard is a standard finish system. It is more familiar. Every residential insulation contractor knows how to insulate a building from the inside. Exterior insulation on a steel container requires a slightly different approach and a cladding system chosen to work with the exterior insulation layer. And the space loss is not obvious on a drawing. A floor plan showing 149 square feet of internal area does not automatically show the insulation depth eating into that area. Many container home builders do not realize how much interior width they have lost until the stud walls are up and the container feels noticeably narrower than it did when they stepped into the raw shell. These are all understandable reasons for choosing interior insulation. None of them outweigh the 12 to 16% floor area reduction it produces. Exterior insulation moves the entire thermal barrier to the outside of the container steel. Instead of spray foam on the interior face of the steel, a continuous insulation board or blanket system is applied directly to the exterior face of the corrugated steel wall. The cladding system, timber, fiber cement, or metal panel, is then fixed over the insulation layer on the exterior. The interior of the container receives only a direct finish, a skim coat of plaster, or a thin lining board, applied directly to the interior steel face, or to a thin secondary frame no deeper than 25 to 35 millimeters, if the interior lining material requires a fixing substrate. Total interior wall depth lost, 25 to 35 millimeters per wall instead of 150 to 180 millimeters per wall. That is a reduction in wall depth of 125 to 155 millimeters per wall. across both long walls, 250 to 310 millimeters of recovered interior width. In real terms, the difference between a 6-foot 8-inch interior and a 7-foot 6-inch interior. On a 40-foot container, where this width is the primary determinant of how the interior functions, the difference between a kitchen run and a living zone that feel comfortably usable and the same spaces that feel uncomfortably narrow. The thermal performance of exterior insulation is also superior to interior insulation in one specific and important way. Interior insulation insulates the living space, but leaves the steel shell itself as a thermal bridge at every structural connection point. The floor channels, the corner posts, the top rail, all of them conduct temperature between the exterior and the interior around the edges of the insulation layer. Exterior insulation wraps the entire steel structure continuously. The steel is on the warm side of the insulation layer. There are no thermal bridges at structural connections, because the insulation is outside every structural element rather than applied to the interior faces between them. A correctly specified exterior insulation system on a container home achieves a higher effective thermal performance for the same R value of insulation material compared to interior insulation, because it eliminates the structural thermal bridging that interior systems cannot address. From the outside, an exterior insulated container home does not look like a container home. The corrugated steel is entirely concealed beneath the insulation board and the cladding system. The exterior reads as a flat-walled building with a material finish of your choice: timber board and batten, dark fiber cement panels, zinc or Corten steel cladding. Any material that can be fixed over a 50 to 100 millimeter insulation board layer on a secondary fixing frame is available. The exterior thickness of the building increases by the insulation board depth plus the cladding thickness, typically 80 to 120 millimeters per wall. On a standard 8-foot wide container, this means the external footprint of the building is approximately 13 to 20 inches wider than the raw container footprint. On most sites, this is not a planning concern. The external footprint of the insulated container is still smaller than most comparable residential floor areas. And the planning footprint of the building is always measured from the external face of the cladding, regardless of the insulation system used. The visual result is a home that looks like a well-designed small building rather than a container with a cladding system applied as an afterthought. The exterior insulation layer eliminates the corrugated steel profile from the exterior appearance entirely. What you see is the cladding. What you feel inside is the full container width. Here is the 2026 cost comparison for a 40-foot container. Both insulation systems at equivalent thermal performance. Interior insulation system. Closed cell spray foam to all interior walls. $350 to $6.50 to $6.50 per board foot. For a 40-foot container interior wall area at 3-inch depth. $5,800 to $10,800. 2x4 stud wall framing to all 4 interior walls. $2,200 to $4,500. Plasterboard lining and finishing. $3,500 to $6,000. Interior insulation total. $11,500 to $21,300. Floor area lost. 30 to 40 square feet. Exterior insulation system. 75 mm rigid mineral wool or polyisocyanurate board applied to exterior steel face. $35 to $65 per square meter installed. For a 40-foot container exterior wall area. $4,200 to $7,800. Secondary horizontal fixing frame to carry cladding over insulation. $1,800 to $3,500. Exterior cladding, fiber cement or timber. $5,500 to $11,000. Thin interior skim coat or 12 mm lining board direct to steel. $1,200 to $2,800. Exterior insulation total. $12,700 to $25,100. Floor area lost. 4 to 6 square feet. Cost premium of exterior over interior insulation system, $1,200 to $3,800. Space recovered by choosing exterior over interior insulation, 26 to 36 square feet. Cost per square foot of recovered space, $33 to $146. In most markets, new enclosed residential floor area costs between $1,000 and $3,000 per square foot to construct. Recovering 30 square feet of usable floor area for $33 to $146 per square foot by choosing the exterior insulation system is one of the most cost-efficient spatial decisions available in any building project. You are not paying for extra space. You are paying to keep the space you already bought. So here is the question I want answered in the comments right now. Did you know exterior insulation was an option before watching this video? And if you have already built a container home with interior insulation, how much width do you wish you had back? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. If this video saves you 30 square feet of living space and the regret of building the wrong insulation system into a structure you cannot easily change, share it with every container home builder you know. Share it before they start, not after they finish. See you in the next one.